So out of nowhere earlier this morning, Rockstar dropped trailer 2 along with like 100 different screenshots and just descriptions on everything in the game. We got a way better look of what the game's going to be like, and we even got a better look at Jason now. This trailer is a little more tailored towards him. All right, so let's just get straight into it. So once again, starting off in the trailer, we're asked the question, "What are you doing up there?" Jason replies, "Just fixing some leaks." Definitely a joke by Rockstar. It seems Jason does a lot of different things, but in this instance right here, this guy's talking about going to collect checks for him from his tenants. So I guess Jason needs some sort of not contractor, collector, right? So he's gonna go get this money from these people that owe money to this guy right here. And this man's name is Brian. So I guess Brian, he's some sort of landlord, right? And a lot of people owe him money for the houses they're not paying or apartments, whatever it is, right? And pretty soon, right after that scene, we actually see Jason go driving to a location and he's in the same clothes and everything. So I guess we can assume it's right after the scene where he's talking to Brian. He walks into this guy's store and punches him in the face or slaps him, opens the register, and takes the money. So yeah, so it seems like this might be what he does to make some money on the side, or even maybe his main source of income, right? It also seems like these are going to be things that we do as a player. So we're going to be going to people's houses, stores, whatever, taking the money by force. Kind of similar to what Red Dead did with Arthur. Something we also see in this specific time frame in the trailer is that the ladies love Jason. So we're definitely going to see some fights with Lucia. Like when he drives past, a girl yells out his name. When he's at the beach doing bench press and benching like 300 pounds or whatever, they're staring at him. He walks into a store. Lady turns around, looks at him. Next up in the trailer, we see Jason going from his side of town into the main city, going to visit Lucia in prison. She gets out soon after, and they get straight to, you know what. After that, we see Lucia holding up a couple guys in what seems to be a bank. You can see from the back on this computer, it says Sin Frontera National Bank. So it does seem like they're going to be doing these sort of large-scale heists, not just robbing convenience stores and things like that. We then see another scene where Jason and Lucia are laying in bed, and he kind of rubs her belly. Kind of makes me think she's pregnant. I don't know. We'll see. Talk about that a little bit after. And then you see the two on a dock and they toast to new beginnings. So, new life in Leonida, I guess. Pretty much the same scene after you see them laughing on the edge of a dock, laughing it up, having a good time. Then we see a few dudes loading up some cargo onto a plane. I can't tell if one of these guys is Jason or not, but yeah. Next up we see Lucia doing some community service, and I'm pretty sure this is her because we later on in the trailer see that she comes home into the new house apartment wearing the same vest. And also right after this scene, she's talking about how this is the perfect place for them to start a new life, new beginnings. Then we see Jason and Lucia in what seems to be a bar. Right after that, we see them going to some sort of yacht party, dressed up and all. Y'all seen the look on that man Jason's face when Lucia walked into the frame? Made that same exact face. That man is lucky. After that, we hear Jason say, "If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it right." So I'm assuming this is in regards to some sort of mission operation that they're gonna be doing that might make things a little bit harder on them in their time in Leonida. And who knows, maybe he's talking about their relationship, right? If they want to do this, he wants to do it right. He doesn't want this to be some sort of fling or whatever. It seems like they actually want to start a life and actually kind of, move on from their past, both of them. Then after that, we see them in their same clothes going to a party. This could be right after the yacht party because it does look a little dark. So going to some sort of party nightclub. We see the two busting down some moves on each other in the club, you know what I'm saying? Now after this is a pretty interesting scene. We see Jason walking up to a guy. I think they're about to have a conversation. Guy stands up kind of angry, says, "Yo, D, this fool a Fed." And I actually didn't even understand what the guy was saying up until right now when I just said what he said. But yeah, this is interesting because for a while now, people have kind of been speculating that Jason, had a military background or he was a cop or something like that. But they've been saying that he might be an undercover cop. And, this guy is assuming that he's undercover. He's a cop. It would be interesting to see at the end of the story that Jason was, whole time undercover, but I kind of hope they don't do that because, I mean, this is supposed to be like a love story. I kind of hope that it doesn't go that angle. I mean, even if it did go that angle, it wouldn't take away from it being a love story. I just kind of want to see this, I don't know, pure love story where it's not like one of them has an ulterior motive. And I want that up until the end. And, I honestly don't, I really hope this game doesn't have like a terrible, sad ending, but Rockstar tends to do that. So I'd expect it. Then we see Jason and Lucia trying to get out of their apartment, it seems, while these cops are trying to raid it. Right after that, we see a scene where a guy's telling Jason that they have his name and his dress and everything pretty much. So we don't know if they're looking for Jason and Lucia specifically, but if they are, they have their information. They probably know where they're going to be. We did see in a description that Rockstar put on their website, along with so much other information, that they're going to get tangled up in some sort of investigation, a really big investigation in Leonida. Now, I don't think this is something they caused on their own. I think they just get tangled up with the wrong people, and these people were of course, being investigated by the feds. So now, naturally, Jason and Lucia are going to be investigated. Now, this scene does seem to have a correlation to the scene in trailer one where we see cops break down a door to what seems to be an apartment. This could be their apartment. You see Jason and Lucia trying to jump out of a window while the cops are trying to raid it. So who knows? Once again, we see Lucia and Jason busting down the moves. After that, we see both Jason and Lucia roughing up some people. Now, for Jason, it seems like he's actually fighting somebody, but for Lucia, she might just be practicing. It seems like she's in a caged area. There's some people watching in the background, perhaps. She's also performing a kick, which I don't know if she'd actually use that in the fight, but hey, maybe she's nice like that. Then we hear Jason say, something, something, we got this. Lucia responds, we got it. After that, we see they're in some sort of massive cop chase, right? Like Lucy has a grenade launcher in the hand, just blowing up cars. After that, we see Jason and this guy in like a park setting watching some video on their phone. And like, whoa, I don't know what they were watching, but they might have been watching trailer too, honestly. And this is another crazy scene. We then see what seems to be Lucia tackle this guy into this, like, I don't know where the wheels are in a plane, and this plane is in the air. Like, what in the Fast and Furious is going on? And speaking of Fast and Furious, we see a pickup truck driving off with a safe attached to the back of it, presumably Jason and Lucia. Like, this is straight out of Fast Five. Of course, the safe isn't as big, nearly as big, but still, they took it straight out of that movie. And I don't remember who specifically it was, but a while ago we did see that some insiders were saying this game was going to have some heavy inspiration from the Fast and Furious series. So you can already see it here. We then see Lucia and Jason making out for like the third time in the trailer already. Then we see in the next shot that Lucia and Jason are taking a video with what seems to be some sort of influencer in what seems to be a club setting. It does seem like they're wearing the same clothes as they were at that yacht party and then the scene after that at the club. So I'm guessing this is all within the same day, the same night. Then we get a pretty good look at this city area. Dominion Hotel we see in the background. We see this red looking Mercedes driving in the background with this girl sticking out the side of the window, girl outside on the street, sidewalk, recording her. Then we got this guy taking these pictures for these people right here in the back. And we get another look at some of the cars that'll be in the game. We see there's this lime green looking Lamborghini in the back. Kind of looks like the Zentorno from GTA 5, just a little bit. We see some more of the club life, some of the club dancers. Then right after that, we got an ammunition commercial. Shows off just a few of the guns that we might see in the game. And we also see a PS5 looking console and a PS4 looking controller. Obviously, it's not going to be an exact copy of the consoles, but you know. And also just look at the picture on the left side of the screen. When the trailer plays, you can see the reflection from the TV. It's just crazy, man. The detail in this game is absolutely insane. And then right after Lucia walks in and you see Jason, looks like he's sleeping on the couch. Pretty sure it's the same exact scene because in the trailer you can hear the TV in the background playing. So yeah, she walks in, looks like she came back from her community service, drops her keys, drops right into Jason's arms. We then get a better look at the Everglades in Leonida here. We have a helicopter, what looks like the Buzzard from GTA 5, except there's a minigun on the side. A guy's using it. We also see the airboat that, we saw in trailer 1, and then another boat on the side, the left side of the screen. We cut right over to the next scene. It looks like Jason is flying the helicopter right behind this airboat. Then we see Lucia and Jason having a little fun on a jet ski, hair blowing in the wind and all. We see Jason riding out on a motorcycle, plane flies right over him. Scene right after that, we see what I'm assuming is Lucia getting off of a motorcycle, jumping into the back of a truck to presumably steal this supercar in the back of it. And then we have what very well might be the greatest part of this trailer. Probably the greatest part of any trailer to ever come out. Just take a look for yourself. Following that, we have what might be Jason and Lucia in a boat getting chased by a helicopter. It looks like Lucia, if that's her, is shooting the helicopter. And then we've got another chase sequence with this guy on a dirt bike. It seems like it's Jason. If you look closely in the back, there's a convertible. If you follow on to the next scene in the trailer, Lucia is driving this convertible. Jason jumps onto the back of the car. So it looks like these are the same scenes, just different parts, different angles. Next up, we have this guy in a mod shop for boats. It looks like on his shirt says Brian's Bulwarks and Marines. Not sure if this guy's Brian or not, but yeah. Other than that, look at the physics on the beer bottle when he's like jumping up and down, how it's spilling out of the bottle. It's just crazy, man. And then the very last scene is very similar to the one in the first trailer, and it's actually the same car they used, Jason and Lucia. Once again, she's like sticking her head out of the car, letting her hair blow out in the wind, driving off into the sunset. This was just such a beautiful trailer. What more could we ask for, honestly? They not only gave us trailer 2, but they actually gave us like 100 different screenshots and so much more else to work with. We now know a little bit more about the story, what it's going to be like. We know a little bit more about Jason and Lucia, about, their character types. We got a better look at the world and some of the other characters we're going to be interacting with. This information, honestly, all of this, we don't need anything else up until around the time the game is supposed to come out in May 26, 2026. Of course, if the game is actually going to come out that day, then we'll probably start getting stuff, a few months ahead of time. So, of course, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I'm going to have so many more other videos coming out because there's just so much to cover. I'm actually kind of overwhelmed. But yeah, but as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments and like the video if you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.